All right, guys, I'm back. Let's see what's happening with the Herdmans and the Halloween party at Woodrow Wilson School. The Herdmans must have figured that out because according to Charlie, they aren't going to come. We're not going to waste our time on some dumb Woodrow Wilson PTA Halloween party with school teacher ghosts and no trick or treat, was what Ralph said. You have to go to it, Charlie told him. I have to go. Everybody has to go. It's like a big school event. As usual, there was more than one Herdman on hand to comment about this. A big school event would be that the school burned down, Claude said. Yeah, Ollie grinned. The Herdman grinned, sly and sneaky. Or blew up. You had to think twice about that because the Herdmans were famous for starting fires and blowing up garbage cans. Still, all they had to work with was a junior science kit they stole from the hardware store, and so the school was probably safe. Of course, anything the Herdmans stayed away from was sure to be popular with everybody else, so right away kids quit complaining about Mr. Crabtree and the homework and the family monsters. And nobody said they were glad about no trick-or-treating because nobody was glad about that. It's like we made a trade, Boomer Malone said. We get rid of the Herdmans, but we gave up trick-or-treating. It would be great if we could get rid of the Herdmans forever, but that wasn't going to happen, so this was better than nothing. This is a lot better than nothing, my mother said. Do you realize that this will be the first time in history that a Woodrow Wilson school event will go the way it's supposed to? Nothing will be stolen or blown up or burned down or buried or dug up, she looked at Charlie, or wallpapered. When Charlie was in the second grade, his teacher, Miss Evans, gave them some rolls of wallpaper to decorate their room for Parents' Night. And while the rest of the kids wallpapered their books and their lunch boxes and the blackboard, Leroy Herdman wallpapered Charlie to the coat room door. Miss Evans told my mother that she walked past him twice before it occurred to her that the door looked very strange. It was all bumpy, she said, but my goodness, I didn't think, well, you don't expect to find a child underneath the wallpaper. What alerted me the third time I went past the door was that the whole thing was moving. It looked like 2 or 3 puppies under a blanket, you know? Charlie had wallpaper paste all over himself. His clothes, his hair, and eyebrows, and his ears, and up his nose. Leroy's idea, my mother said. Charlie nodded. I was supposed to jump out during Parents' Night and go, ta-da! Leroy said it would be a big hit. Then why didn't Leroy do it, Mother asked, scrubbing away at the wallpaper paste. He couldn't. He's allergic to wallpaper. Mother never forgot this episode, and she never let Charlie forget it either, up to and including now. Allergic to wallpaper, she said. I was in the second grade, Charlie protested. I didn't know any better then. I wasn't sure he knew any better now, so it was good that the Herdmans almost never did the same thing twice. Once they had wallpapered you, you could be pretty sure that you wouldn't be wallpapered again. You could relax. And if Charlie was right, and the Herdmans stayed away on Halloween, everyone could relax. I just wish I could be sure, Luella McCluskey said. If I bring my little brother Howard to school that night and take him around to some of the things that aren't very scary, my mother will pay me $8. But that's only if the Herdmans don't come. If they come, my mother won't let me bring Howard. I still have to come, she sighed. But I can't bring Howard. Why don't you ask Imogene, I said. But we both knew that wouldn't help because she might say yes and it would be a lie, or she might say no and that would be a lie. I could ask her what she's going to be for Halloween, Luella said. That might give me a clue. Well, it did. What am I going to be for Halloween, Imogene said. Well, I'm not going to be hanging around here in some secondhand bathrobe with a lot of fake witches and spooky music on the PA and little kid games like that. She pointed to the second grade room, where 2 PTA mothers were deciding where to hang up a sign that said, "Pin the tail on the black cat." That satisfied Luella. I know exactly what I'm going to do with my $8, she said. After Halloween, they'll mark down the price on all the leftover Halloween costumes, and I'll buy one. I don't even care what it is, just so it's not a pilgrim. Luella was lucky, I thought, because this year the stores were full of Halloween costumes instead of Halloween candy. What did you expect, Mother said, when Charlie came home moaning and groaning about the empty shelves at the supermarket. Charlie spends most of October checking out all the different candy, deciding what he wants most and what he doesn't want, and what he wants my mother to buy in case there's some left over. You'd think he never saw candy except at Halloween. That's what Mother said. You'd think you never saw candy except at Halloween, but you have candy all the time. I buy candy bars for the high school band trip every year. Your father buys me candy on my birthday. And Elizabeth makes that wonderful fudge at Christmas. But that's not like Halloween candy, Charlie said. Halloween candy is like... I helped him out. It's like you get to have all the candy there is all at once, and you get to look at it and count it and separate it into little piles and trade it, Charlie said, and eat it and hand it all over to the Herdmans, Mother said. Don't forget that part. But what Charlie couldn't forget was the empty shelves of the supermarket. There isn't anything there, he kept saying. No candy at all. Not even healthy candy like Power Bars. Mother said there was no such thing as healthy candy, and I guess she was getting tired of this subject because she changed it. Just wait till you get to school on Halloween night, she said. Lots of surprises. What surprises, I wondered. We already knew about the mystery swamp and the boiling cauldron and the monsters, and anything we didn't know about, Alice would be glad to tell us, unless my mother had some private surprise. Did they talk her into being a witch or some other gross thing? As far as I knew, she was still on the pumpkin committee, and there were notes about it on the refrigerator. Pumpkin committee meeting Wednesday, 10:30, and call Mr. Brown about pumpkins. Still, I wanted to make sure. How's the pumpkin committee going? I asked Mother. Is it a lot of work? Well, it's a lot of time asking people to donate pumpkins and a lot of time lugging pumpkins around, she said. But I don't mind. Because you'd rather collect pumpkins, I said. Instead of being, some witch or ghost or something? No, she said, because I just want this to be the best Halloween ever. My mother was going to be very disappointed, I thought. Now that the Herdmans weren't coming for sure, the Woodrow Wilson Halloween looked a little better, but not much, and not to everybody. Charlie was the only one who checked out the supermarket and the empty shelves. Wasn't the only one. Guys, I'm sorry, I read that incorrectly. Charlie wasn't the only one who checked out the supermarket and the empty shelves. There were kids there every afternoon, remembering where their favorite candy used to be. M&M's on the top shelf at the end. Reese's Pieces right in the middle between two kinds of Hershey Kisses. Milk Duds on the bottom besides Jujubes. Boomer remembered the year there weren't any Raisin and Nut Chunkies. They were my favorite, he said, and I had to collect something else. Luella missed Peanut Butter Cups, and I missed Starbursts, but what we all really missed was just Halloween candy on Halloween. The only good thing about it was that it would be Herdman free, which according to Alice was the whole idea in the first place. We were wrong about the homework, she reported. That wasn't why Mr. Crabtree decided to have Halloween at school. The mayor made him have Halloween at school so they could keep track of the Herdmans, my mother said. But they aren't coming, I said. Well, the mayor didn't know that would happen, and Mr. Crabtree didn't know that would happen, but at least we get to have a Herdman-free Halloween. Alice was so pleased with herself and her inside information that she didn't even notice who was standing around to hear the inside information. But I did. Besides me and Luella, there was Boomer Malone and Gloria Coburn and Junior Jacobs. And right outside the door, taking in every word and repeating, Herdman free to herself, was Imogene. Oh boy. So now Imogene's heard the plan, or heard the rumor, that it's going to be a Herdman-free Halloween. And so do you think it's going to stay a Herdman-free Halloween now that Imogene's heard? I don't know. We'll have to come back for Chapter 6 tomorrow.